Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, July 22nd. The extreme heat that we experienced here in the Mid-Atlantic region is now gone with no return in sight. Temperatures for the most part should just climb up into the 80s this week. The high humidity levels that we experienced last week, however, remain, and that will allow for possibility of some tropical-like downpours over the next couple of days. There is, in fact, starting to look like quite a drop in humidity is possible by Wednesday and Thursday, as a cool front now looks like it'll slide through the region by Wednesday, setting us up perhaps for some nice weather on Wednesday and Thursday, and perhaps even into Friday. More rain is likely to develop, however, over the weekend, perhaps the second half of the weekend, Saturday night or Sunday. Now, as it turns out, last week is liable to be the hottest week of all, and when we look back at the summer as a whole, it's very likely that last week's heat wave will in fact be the hottest weather that we experience all summer long. There are certainly signs for cooler weather for the remainder of July and even perhaps right through the month of August here in the Mid-Atlantic region. So that's the good news. Bad news is the next couple of days we'll continue to have excessive humidity levels and the threat for some tropical-like downpours. Again, humidity could very well drop noticeably by Wednesday and Thursday. Well, let's take a look at the latest surface map. This cool frontal system is the same front that came through over the weekend, breaking the back of the heat wave. It has stalled out and set up shop in the neighborhood, and that will kind of act as a conduit for some moisture to move from west to east. And again, some of the moisture that falls in the form of showers and thunderstorms can fall heavily at times this afternoon, tonight, anytime tomorrow and tomorrow night. Flash flooding is still a concern as the grounds are still pretty saturated. Here's another cool front getting itself organized over the northern plains, and indeed it looks like that could very well drop the humidity levels on Wednesday and Thursday in the Mid-Atlantic region. We very well could have a nice weather pattern Wednesday, Thursday into Friday, and perhaps even into the early part of the weekend as yet another Canadian-born high-pressure system moves into the Mid-Atlantic region. Well, let's jump ahead to Wednesday morning surface map forecast, and here it is. That cool front that is right now over the northern plains looks like it'll just slide on through the Mid-Atlantic region with another nice high pressure system coming behind it for the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday time frame. But before we get to that point, lots of showers and thunderstorms in the eastern part of the country, and certainly the Mid-Atlantic region can experience some tropical-like downpours over the next 48 hours. Here's a current look at the radar loop from the Penn State Ewald site. Not much going on right now along the I-95 corridor. Maybe an isolated sprinkle or two, but a lot of heavy precipitation in the form of showers and thunderstorms out across the Ohio Valley. Our chances increase substantially over the afternoon hours here along the I-95 corridor into the evening hours. Again, much of the time will be rain-free, but any shower or thunderstorm that falls, not only this afternoon and tonight, but tomorrow into tomorrow night, can be heavy at times, and flash flooding is still a concern as the grounds are still quite saturated here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Here's the latest look at the infrared satellite loop from the Wisconsin website. A couple areas of interest here, showers and thunderstorms that we just pointed out on the radar here across the Ohio Valley. They very well could affect the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York City later on this afternoon and this evening. And here's another area of showers and thunderstorms kind of developing rather quickly across Minnesota. That's associated with that upstream cool front that looks like it'll continue to move south and east and perhaps give us a noticeable drop in humidity here along the I-95 corridor in the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame. Well, let's take a look at some surface forecast maps from last night's Zero-Z GFS Global Forecast System model run. We'll start with this evening, go 12-hour increments right through Wednesday evening, and here's an area of showers and thunderstorms associated with that band over the Ohio Valley right now. It moves into the Mid-Atlantic region. Certainly anytime this afternoon into the evening hours, there can be a heavy downpour up and down the I-95 corridor. Again, much of the time will be rain-free, but clouds will tend to dominate not only today but tomorrow as well, helping to keep temperatures confined to generally the low to mid-80s in the Mid-Atlantic region, a far cry from last week's mid to upper 90s. Here's that cool front by later on this evening. Now starting to make a move across the northern plains, and indeed that should reach the East Coast by Wednesday morning. Here's the forecast map for tomorrow morning. A little bit of a low pressure area depicted here by the GFS model. Cool front now in the Great Lakes region by tomorrow morning. Still some showers and thunderstorms, and again some heavy rainfall amounts depicted here by the GFS model. This is still a juicy air mass. We lost the extreme heat, but the high humidity remains from last week, and all it takes is a couple of frontal systems to really squeeze out some decent rainfall amounts in a short period of time. Therefore, flash flooding is still quite a concern here. Now by tomorrow night, a cool front is starting to line up here along the Mid-Atlantic coastline. Still some showers and thunderstorms depicted here by the GFS model. But let's now jump ahead to Wednesday morning. And by this time, that cool front is now lined up along the east coast. And notice here, high pressure out over the upper part of the Midwest. That came from the southwestern part of Canada, another Canadian-born type high pressure system. Indeed, we'll have kind of a stiff northwest breeze on Wednesday, likely bring a noticeable drop in humidity levels. Will be very humid today through tomorrow, but this is starting to look like Wednesday, Thursday, perhaps even Friday time frame will be quite a change indeed in terms of humidity levels as yet another Canadian-born high pressure system moves into the Mid-Atlantic region. Finally, here's a forecast map for Wednesday evening. That cool front well off the coast by this time. High pressure sitting out over the Midwest should dominate the scene here. Very well could be a nice sleeping weather type of night on Wednesday night and perhaps Thursday night as well. We haven't had that for a while, but the bottom line is very humid right through tomorrow with an occasional shower or thunderstorm here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Any rain that falls over the next 48 hours can bring heavy rain and some flash flooding concerns to localized regions. It's now starting to look like could be quite a noticeable drop in humidity in the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday time frame. Stay tuned to the SIWeather.com for updates. For the SIWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.